So, rolling right on. I'm reading this book that is a best selling book and also a self published one. I'm actually listening to it, so it's even better. By this athlete called David Goggins, which is one of the most celebrated athletes on earth, and a man who accomplished, I mean, literally everything. He ran like 1,000 kilometer distances and 100 kilometers in in 100 miles in the desert, and I mean, literally, this man has done every single physical challenge on the planet better than anyone else. But it is a book about the mind, about the disciplining of the mind, and about ultimately conquering the mind and mastering the mind, and about how to do impossible things by mastering your mind. Actually, it's I wouldn't call it psychology. I would call it like a book on the warrior mentality. And he talks about this very interesting thing, which came to my head just now, about starting at point zero. He says that he completed one of the most complex trainings on earth 3 times. Like most people spend 6 months there, he spent like 18 months. So 3 times. The first time he was pulled out on a medical charge, on the medical reasons. Second time he shattered his kneecap. And the third time he actually completed on broken legs. Like literally he was running on broken legs. This is not a joke, not an exaggeration. This is just a measure of how hard this man is. And and he's saying this thing after that after those challenges he felt a bit of grief that it was over. Most people felt relief that it was over and they didn't plan, even though they became Navy SEALs, so one of the most trained people in the army. Um, they didn't plan to do it again, but he looked back on it with grief because he wanted bigger challenges. He wanted to do it again. He was of the mentality of the day one, week one. And I deeply understand what he means. Because I think it takes a special type of person to be always excited about point zero. Imagine the person has completed something extraordinary, like company with million subscribers, a YouTube channel with million subscribers, a book that is recognized by the whole world, a role that got an Oscars. Like something very universally recognized is very hard and very top of their field. Imagine the person has completed something like this, and there are two types of people, and one of them is saying, "Okay, I've got it now. I've got my goal. I can get comfortable now. I will never have to work hard like this again. I will never have to try like this again. I will never have to like go beyond my borders, like borders like this again. I will just never do that again. I don't need to." And that's a legitimate take. And there are people like him for whom it's always day one, week one, for whom it's always point zero. Like basically who get weird acceleration of starting from zero. Okay, new company, go. Okay, new book, go. Okay, new course, go. Okay, a second marathon, go. Okay, you got stripped of your YouTube channel. You got to start from the beginning. Go, go. And they get this weird thing that now I'm going to challenge myself even more. Like I'm going to push myself even more. I'm going to fly past those obstacles even more wildly. And I deeply understand what he means because I am this person. I've started and finished many projects without any applause. I am always excited by the point zero. I mean, I'm weirdly excited by the point where I finally quit my job and I will be at point zero again. I don't know, something in me is like, woo, 2.0. Like you can even sense it. Like it's a real excitement. It's this girl inside me that I recently found. Sounds weird, but it's true. That girl that I was at the age of like 7 to 8 years, I think, that was so excited about everything. That was so excited. So that there are so many things in the world that she hasn't seen, and she could do anything, and she believed she could do anything, and I do believe it as well. Like I'm so excited about the 0 point. I don't know. I have like all those shiny possibilities and all those things. Like I've never been the person who was oriented towards saving what I have and like guarding what I have. I always was someone who was excited about the point zero. I was excited at point zero at like 50 years old. I don't know, at 70 years old. Like, I think it's so exciting when people have this thing in them to start again at any age. To start again, to start again, to start again. Because when you start again, I think you can see it in myself as well. But when you start again, you feel like you're 23 again. You feel like you're young again. You feel like you have the thing in front of you. Like I don't know. I can't explain how good I feel when I feel like there are things in front of me still. When I don't have to lock myself in one challenge forever. And that's why I always was seeking hard things, I think. I'm similar to him in that way. I never did so much physical exercise, of course, I never will do. But I was always seeking hard things. I really, I really always was seeking to challenge myself. I, 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 I need it. And this is his whole book and his whole idea about this point zero, but not only. Point zero is just something that got into my head because I'm always excited to get it at another beginning. I love beginnings. I love beginnings a lot more than I love endings. Actually, I love beginnings. But this whole book, his whole book, is about this mindset that comfortability is death. Comfortability is death. Like comfort is not something that the person should strive to. Comfort is not something that the person should be in. Like at least for him, comfort is not the way to go. Like being relaxed and chilling, and it's not the way to go. And I do understand what he means. I don't fully agree on that, but I do understand this philosophy very deeply. And he reminded me of that it's not about the comfort. That I actually, if I wanted to be comfortable in life, I would have made very different choices. I wouldn't be sitting here talking. I wouldn't maybe even have left my country. I would have made very different choices in life if I wanted to be comfortable. But I don't quite get why being comfortable is so glamorized. Being uncomfortable is much more interesting, actually. And he kind of like got his whole fame and his whole image and everything for him on being uncomfortable. And I get it. I really get it. I really get it why he wants to be uncomfortable, and I really get it why for him uncomfortability is life. Is a style of life, is a way of life. I get it. Because I'm seeking the same thing. I'm seeking to challenge myself. I'm not seeking comfort. And that's an important thing. I'm really not like a stability person. I mean, yes, stability is great, and but I'm just not the person who's like, yeah, I'm comfortable, I can live comfortably, I have enough money to live, nobody bothers me, I don't need to do anything specific, I just can enjoy. Like, I don't know, I want to do hard shit. I need it. And I thought for a long time it was because of the career, because of the competition, to prove myself. But this innate need to prove myself is will always be there, I think. This need to like he said, to find out what I'm capable of. Because basically he said that in my life I most think that I would regret not getting to the bottom of what I'm capable of. I'm not utilizing myself to my full potential, to my full capacity. And I get what he's talking about, because it's so frightening to know that you are capable of so much more. But those things that I was speaking about in another video, those things screaming at you, you can't do it, you can't do it, you're too weak, you're too stupid, you're too this, you're too that, those things overpowered you, or people around you overpowered you, or your mind overpowered you, and you couldn't even begin. And I do understand that mindset of uncomfortability. And I do think that comfort is a trap. It is a trap. Because basically it creates an illusion that the person doesn't need to achieve anything anymore. It doesn't do anything anymore. Like it doesn't need to. And I guess it often gets confused with peace as well. People say, I want my peace, I want my peace. Mm, yeah, maybe they do want their peace. Peace and comfort are not the same things. Don't think so. Like basically, if they just want to sit there for the whole day and do nothing and be in peace, I mean, you can tell that I'm mulling over this subject and I haven't maybe formed such a clear opinion on it, but I do get what he means. I do get his mindset, and I do think that yeah, it's truly something to listen to.